Greetings. Hi, I wanted to sort of like maybe give an update on myself since I've been married for about 10 months already. Um, I've also been dealing in and out with depression as well. Uh, and it's kind of a weird thing for me to be dealing with these things, considering that I'm living a situation that people would tell me easily that I'm supposed to be happy with. It's been 10 months into, I got married on the 17th of December 2016. So next year it'll be, I'm sorry, next month it'll be a year. And I don't know why I sometimes just feel overwhelmed by those things. There are things about it like where I want to sort of like run away. It's kind of a weird thing to say that I keep saying that, but I want to, I feel trapped. I already have a mortgage, but like the house isn't finished yet. Eventually, it will be. I have my wife, and I'm living in this other town. And there was one point where I was swimming. One of the days that I normally swim, I try to keep myself like busy as far as what it goes with physical movements, since I know it helps to always be physically moving. And while I was there, I had these thoughts where I felt kind of trapped. And there was also another thing where my ex girlfriend from a long time ago that did some really bad, really good damage at me, sort of. She contacted me and said that she felt bad over how things ended and that she thought I was like a great guy and the one for her. And of course, then I had to explain where I was in my life. And that triggered a bunch of thoughts in my head about things, how things could have been, and how, I don't know, like, it's a weird thing that there's something inside my head that I'm sure it's defective and making me feel bad, but I just can't get to it or give it a name or something like that. And I'm pretty sure it has to do with that comment she made, as well as these other things like having the mortgage, being in this place where I feel trapped, and then all of a sudden I thought I felt trapped in my marriage. I was looking at things, or I am still looking at things in a very negative light when I should be happy with what I have. And those things manifested themselves in like a lot of anxiety. I felt like I couldn't move that well. I didn't want to be alone. So over to uh, I came over to the city to meet up with my parents and my brother, which I barely even talked to. It's kind of a weird thing, but I keep saying that. um, I started also like going into treatment for depression and started taking what is known as a Priprazole or something like that, which is Abilify, or also known as Prepax, where I am. And well, it hasn't done its thing. If it's supposed to do its thing, I've been on it for a month and some change. So I was expecting it for it to make me feel better, but that goes to show that indeed, like medication alone by itself, even though they're supposed to be SSRIs, these things that are supposed to up your serotonin, doing that alone isn't going to help you unless you're actually actively talking about it. Talking about it does make me feel better. I've talked about things with my wife. I've talked about things with my shrink, and talking about it does improve things. And then giving things names, I used to think was sort of like making them into things that sort of like narrowing something down that shouldn't be narrowed down, but giving it a name, knowing what it is, it's definitely something that when you can sort of like try to grasp it and try to say, this is it, and maybe say, how do I deal with you? Things can improve. I think that's where I'm at right now. Doesn't help also being like the with avoidance, because since part of the problem is that I'm alone most of the time, and that isn't good, except when my wife is home. But the problem is that she takes off around 9 a.m. I am also working, but since I work from home, I don't interact with that many people. That also was another thing I was thinking about. Maybe I should switch jobs and get something better, or I don't know. I've been trying to get certified on things and improve. I don't know. Anyway, that's where I'm at. And anyone who took time to listen, thank you. If anything, like I would like to meet people, and I would like to talk to people. And if I can talk to people, if anybody watches this, like if you want to talk, I'm more than likely I'll be glad to talk. Thank you.